What is up, my fellow ladies and gentlemen? Now, Cobra Kai fans, I've got videos for you lined up. Star Wars fans, I've got some for you. In this video, I wanted to delve into a tribute. Now, many of you know the channel Heroes Fan Productions. They are responsible for pretty much every major tribute that's across YouTube now, from The Chosen One to Kenobi. A little self-plug there as well. And I've got to say, I've seen all the kind of fan mashups. I've seen every type of corny one, every type of campy one, every type of heartfelt, like every type of fan creation you can think. And this is why I always say some of the best stuff is by the fans. And if, like me, you are 50-50 on the sequels, you're 50-50 with how they went, this tribute will definitely help paint it in a much better light for you. It won't take away what you wanted to happen, it won't take away what you would have preferred, but it will definitely add to what is existing and to what is canon. Because at the end of the day, folks, there's not your canon and my canon, there's only one canon. We may not like everything involved in it, but it's there and it sticks. So, and also with that whole time travel stuff that was mentioned, yeah, don't do that. Don't bring time travel into Star Wars, please. I know it was in Rebels, but they used it with consequence and they closed that. I really don't want time travel in Star Wars. But anyway, on this, I really this is so well done. This tribute is specific to Kylo Ren, and the last Skywalker being Ben Solo, of course. But it's also more than that. It's also his arc of a character covers the entire saga, and Heroes Fan Productions, what he does, he or she, I'm not too sure, does so well is capture every single frame and relate it to a previous movie or a previous scene, and he combines everything from the animated shows to the movies, to the expanded universe, to the material, even to the Clone Wars show from the 2003 TV series, you know, that little animated one by Gennady Tarkovsky, I think. Absolutely brilliant show that was. So it's amazing that he's managed to use all of this in one, and it's one of them kind of things where, as I've said before, if you are 50-50 on the sequels, this will definitely help you sort of appreciate them in a much better way. And that's how I view them. The sequels for me are, they're not bad, they're just a missed opportunity. They're just a kind of, you know, it's a shame that they didn't go the way I kind of wanted them to go. But they're not bad. Each film brings something to the table. The Force Awakens is a good first act. You may not love it, or, you know, like it, or whatever, but it's a good first act. The second act, The Last Jedi, definitely is the most visually beautiful Star Wars film, and is probably the most character-driven. The Rise of Skywalker is definitely the one that has the most fan service. And, you know, when I say fan service, I don't mean it in a bad way. It just means that, you know, they're rewarding us for being with them for so long. And it's heavy with it. You know, you've got Luke lifting his X-Wing, you've got all the Jedi past, all that kind of stuff. So there is a lot of cool shit in there. But the way I'm going to abbreviate it. The way HFP sort of abbreviates the saga into this character is so well done. And I've said this ever since Ben Solo used Anakin's lightsaber in Rise of Skywalker. Ben Solo is the hybrid of Han Solo and Anakin in one. He is the combination of both. And what I loved about him in Rise is we get to see that come through, and it's just such a tragedy that we didn't have him for very long. They even said in the documentary that it was tragic. But what this compilation does well is that it utilizes the arcs of both Rey and Ben and intertwines them with the stories of Obi-Wan and Anakin, Luke and Yoda. It intertwines them all. Old Ben, Vader and the Emperor. It intertwines everything perfectly. And the first few minutes captures Kylo Ren's rage so perfectly. And it ties it straight into Anakin. It ties in straight into Padme. And it's just so perfectly done. I've definitely grown to appreciate The Force Awakens a little bit more because of this compilation, because in all honesty, out of the sequels, I feel like The Force Awakens, as good as the first act as it is, it was definitely the most safest one of the trilogy. just to sort of lay the foundation. But I really appreciate all the nuggets and story detail that that film laid. You know, we wouldn't have had the scene with Han and Ben in Rise if not for that scene where, you know, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Can you help me? Then obviously in Rise of Skywalker it's reversed to actually mean something. We wouldn't have had the just sort of the nuggets of information and the potential setups if it weren't for The Force Awakens. So I've really grown to appreciate it a little bit more. But it captures the rage of this character so well. And the minute in this fan thing here, the minute that where it plays Kylo stabbing Han, is where it just amps from about 20 to 5,000. It completely blew me away with how it incorporated the score, the lines of dialogue, and the amount of work that's clearly gone into this is just absolutely incredible. I've rewatched it probably about 3 or 4 times now, and it's made me see each Star Wars film in a much better way. And this is why, again, I love the fans, because the fans can do this. They can do what no big corporate studio can. They can find a way to make us appreciate even all the stuff that we're not 100% on, or we're not 50-50 on. I mean, I know there are some fans who only prefer the animated shows. They don't like any of the movies. There are some fans who are prequel diehards. There are some fans who are just sequel trilogy fans. There are some fans who are original trilogy fanboys. And there are fans of the whole lot. So what this compilation does well is it unites all of them together. And just, it erupts into this amazing, amazing compilation. And one of my favourite moments was when, and I didn't even pick up on this, is when they start tying in Anakin's promise to his mother that I will come back and save you, or why couldn't I save her, with Kylo Ren's mum Leia passing away. The same way Padme was sort of holding, you know, Anakin's little medallion sort of piece. I've forgotten what it's called. And Leia was holding the dice. It's very symbolic. A lot of parallels. And it definitely makes it feel a bit more connected than what the movies do. So now when you watch the movies, you can watch it with this context in mind, going, okay, this is definitely a connection with that. I can relate this to that, or I can relate this to something that happened in the prequels or in Rebels or what have you. And it just paints it in a much better light. The minute that Han comes in, I've said this from day one, I know people wanted Anakin to redeem Ben. I'm going to disagree. As the biggest Anakin fanboy, Han Solo needed to be the one to redeem Ben, because otherwise we wouldn't have bought it. We wouldn't have bought it. And the line in Force Awakens is, if you see our son, bring him home. Luke is a Jedi, you're his father. What does Han Solo do? He brings him home. It's the memory of Han playing on repeat, and Ben sees it as right. If I didn't kill Han, or if I didn't kill my father, he would be right here with me. And then he realizes what he has to do. Now, where this video does it perfectly is the minute Han's gone, it brings Anakin in. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to lose the Han scene. Keep the Han scene and then add the Anakin scene in straight after. And then Anakin says, look, you know, you're not alone. We're going to be with you this time. And you hear Ahsoka, you hear Mace, you hear Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Kanan. Everyone's there. This is one thing that definitely would have made Rise of Skywalker from, in my opinion, a 7 to an 8, at least, would have just been this one moment where you see Ben talking to all these people who are guiding him. And from the minute that Anakin is introduced in this compilation, proof that Anakin makes everything better, is they start incorporating dialogue from all the previous films and TV shows where Ben's running to Exegol, and no, I Need a Hero is not playing, but it starts incorporating Anakin when he says, move to the right, Obi-Wan when he says, too late, jump. Like, it's all that kind of, those cool nuggets of information, and then it incorporates it with Han Solo's no-look shot, it incorporates it with Anakin saying, we have to help her. It incorporates it with everything so well, and the attention to detail in this is incredible. Now, this is something that admittedly I take years to edit something like this. So the fact that they've managed to put this together is definitely something that I think the Star Wars fandom needed right now. And you combine all the elements of Adam Driver's performance as Ben Solo And then you get to the point when he's on Exegol. Rey transfers the saber through the Force over to him. Oh god, it's one of my favourite things about Rise. The minute he gets Anakin's saber, and this video says it's Skywalker, it uses the line from Episode 1 when Anakin's in the pod race, and it just says, I got chills. I got absolute chills. And then you see Luke, and then Anakin using it, and then Ben pulling it over his shoulder. It's like, yes, that's what I see. And then Han doing the shrug, combined with Ben doing the shrug. It's just perfect. It's brilliant. And then it cuts to every single lock-S foils and attack position thing that we've seen across the saga thus far. From X-Wings to Clone Wars, everything. Everything's there. Everything from Hera to Mandalorian, when he says, you know, when you've got K2SO from Rebels saying, is this the way? And Mando going, this is the way. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And then you sort of play that over with the Force Ghosts in the background while Rey and Ben are fighting Palpatine, which I feel like definitely would have been perfect. You could complain, well, why would you have them standing there? But they're not. They're standing there trying to give motivation to the two people who can actually do something. And then it ties beautifully in with Ben Solo rising out of the pit and the tragedy of Darth Plagueis. Beautifully tied in. Beautifully tied in. And it talks about how Anakin wanted to save those he loved from death. And this is what I've always said, is that Kylo Ren wanted to be Vader. He wanted to be Vader, but in reality, he's more like Anakin. You know, he's whiny, he's aggressive, he's angry, he's got a desire to prove himself to be the best. And then he gets to a place when he's reformed as a light side, with the light side intention of saving those he loves from death. And the video even plays like a montage of everyone who's died across the saga, from Jin and Cassian in Rogue One, to Luke, to Padme, to Qui-Gon, to Windu, to everybody. It just ties it in so perfect. Kanan, it's all there. And this is what I've always said about Star Wars. I know people like Star Wars for the, you know, the brooding action scenes where Kylo Ren or Vader are going on a slaughter rampage. But the biggest theme of Star Wars, and George Lucas has said this 1,000 times, is love. It's literally the biggest theme in this franchise. But it often gets overlooked because people really want these to be sort of, you know, aggressive, dark, broody movies. And at the end of the day, Star Wars is about hope. It's about hope, it's about prosperity, it's about family. It's about family more than anything. So you can imagine how annoyed I was when folks were saying it's not about who you are. Yeah, it is. The story is about family. It's about the Skywalkers. It always has been. It doesn't mean there can't be any new characters like Rey who come from nothing. But the lineage is important because it's been ingrained in everything we've seen thus far from the prequels and the originals. And then you cut to the scene of when Anakin runs to his mother. Now, the scene from the music that starts playing is from Transformers: Age of Extinction. It's the Tessa soundtrack, one of the most beautiful soundtracks I've ever heard. And it plays it with Anakin running to his mother and, you know, being reunited with her. Ben being reunited with his father and mother. Obi-Wan, like, they're all reunited. Everybody's reunited. And this is where I feel like if they took time to have a plan, they could have done this. This would have been the greatest ending in Star Wars if you just had... I don't care if it breaks canon because of some book, you know, page 502, sentence 12, or on whatever. I don't care. This would have been amazing. This is the thing. Canon is great, but I don't live and die by the books. You know what I mean? I'm more interested in the silver screen experience. That, to me, is legit. What happens in the books is cool and is interesting, but what happens on the screen is the story. It's the storytelling. The same way with the video games. It's on the screen. So yeah, I just really love this edit. I think it's amazing. I think it really captures all the themes of Star Wars, and I just give a major shout out to this channel because they knock it out the park with every single video, every single time. And I don't think I'm alone in saying that I wish Ben Solo would have lived and that, you know, he and Rey could have had a happy ever after. I'm going to be honest. I'll just be honest with it. I know people have said, well, he's committed war crimes or whatever. Yeah, but you're the same people that would have wanted Vader to live. And Vader probably, arguably, did worse. He killed kids. A lot of it, I think, is just because Star Wars fans are just, you know... You see, I'm not like the how do I call it? The delusional ones that say majority of Star Wars fans are lovely. No, I'd say it's a good 50-50 split. There's a good 50% of Star Wars fans that are lovely. They all can share opinions and objectively articulate and express why they like or dislike certain things. But there is a large majority of people as well that, you know, and it's mainly because of the internet, you know, let's just call it what it is that it's easier to be more vocal about all this stuff that you hate and just be a bit of a douche about it. Now, I will say, the way this ends is perfect, where now you can make your dreams come true, Annie. You're free. I got choked up. It was just a brilliant way to end this tribute. My rant on Star Wars fans and stuff is for another time, but on this video, I really enjoyed it, and it's just one thing of many to make you feel better about the sequels and the saga as a whole. And fear not, like, as I've said to people, I feel like The Mandalorian is definitely going to... It's not going to reboot the sequels, but what it's going to do is it's going to set up the universe before the sequels. I genuinely believe you're going to see a lot of stories before the sequel era. I know they're moving forward with the High Republic and all that, but it's not going to touch the Skywalker saga. I'm like, you can have your opinions on the movies, but it's not going to touch this level of storytelling. I really doubt it. The layers, the context, and most of it is from George Lucas. You can argue about his crappy dialogue, you can argue about his corny romance or whatever, but this is George Lucas's sandbox. He built this, and then people came and played in it. So realistically, we owe it to him to really just, you know, appreciate this and remember this is a part of history. But yeah, I really enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys go and check it out if you haven't already. I'm sure most of you Star Wars fans have. But I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a blast, and it just tied everything together so perfectly. From the shows to the movies, everything feels connected in such a great way, and I love it for that. I really do. It even made me feel better about the Solo movie. You know, it really did. And this is what fans are capable of. Fans can do this kind of stuff. They can make you sort of appreciate things that you didn't necessarily appreciate before. And side note, I'm excited for the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga game. I really am looking forward to that. I really cannot wait to sink my teeth into that when that comes out. But yeah, I really enjoyed this video. I'm probably going to go watch it again. 27 minutes of awesomeness, and it ties everything together perfectly. It's such a great video. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, guys and girls, comment down below, let me know what you thought. Have you seen it already? What was your favourite part? Are there any kind of videos that you'd like me to do a sort of review on, if you want? And then I can sort of give you my feedback, my analysis, and what I think about on it overall. But after watching this video, I'm kind of in the mood to do a Star Wars Saga rewatch. I really feel like just rewatching the whole saga. But the problem is with Star Wars marathons now, you used to have 3 movies. Then you had 6 movies. And you had the 2003 micro series. Now you have them, and you have the Clone Wars series of 7 seasons. Now you have 2 seasons of Mandalorian. Rebels, you have 4 seasons. You have the Solo movie. You have Rogue One. It's crazy. Like, if you do a Star Wars marathon, what specific part do you marathon? it's amazing. And one thing before I go, one thing that this tribute does is it makes each movie feel important. So even if, for example, first movie that comes to mind, you're not a big Attack of the Clones fan, without that movie, you don't have the context of Anakin and his mother. You don't have that emotional pull. Without the context of Phantom Menace, you don't have the seed planted for it. For Rise of Skywalker, without The Last Jedi, you don't have the Force bond that sets it up in the first place for Ben to get the lightsaber. So each movie builds on the other, and that's what this tribute does so well. And yeah, probably gonna go watch it again. Side note, there's a nice video called Old Town Road, Cobb Vanth. It's like a tribute to him. He was introduced in episode 1 of Mandalorian season 2, and I really hope we see more of him, because I think he was pretty badass. He's like a sort of, you know, local law enforcement sheriff. You know, I would kill for a Star Wars game to be some kind of bounty hunter game, sort of like the bounty hunter game with Jango Fett. but more of a Red Dead Redemption with Star Wars kind of take. I absolutely love that. Anyway, guys and girls, comment down below, let me know what you thought, and I will see you all in another video soon. Much love to you all. I hope you're all keeping well in this crazy time. And yeah, may the Force be with you all. And yeah, see you around, folks.